Hello lovely people, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, let's just get started with a happy little painting. I'm starting off with my sky. I have mixed in a little bit of titanium white to ultramarine blue to get this really beautiful sky color. And as I get closer to the horizon line, I'm adding tiny little bit more of titanium white. So it is really your choice how you want your sky to look, but I just wanted a plain, simple blue sky, and I'm just going over with some of the color to make the areas pop a bit more. I'm going to add a little bit of titanium white to just give that contrast to the sky, and the sky is ready. Now I'm starting off with my mountains. So first of all, I'm just going to block some color. In this one, I have mixed in ultramarine blue with Van Dyke brown and tiny bit of sap green. Here I'm just gonna block them in, and we will leave the detail to the very end. So the best part about creating illusion of realism is to just keep your details to very basic. Here I'm just going in and filling in the parts that are missing before I move on to adding more mountains in the background. Now this one over here is a lighter shade of gray, so I'm only using Van Dyke brown with ultramarine blue and tiny bit of titanium white. Here again, I'm gonna just block the color in, and we'll leave the details to a little bit later on. It's amazing to see how the painting turns out in the end. Right, I just feel like we need to add some water to our painting. So here I'm just adding a little bit of ultramarine blue mixed in with turquoise blue, and I'm just gonna add different shades of these colors. Over here I mixed in a little bit of permanent green just to add another dimension to our water. It's really your choice. If you don't want to, if you just want plain blue water, then you go for it. I'm gonna just fill in all the gaps before I get into the tiny little bits of space that's left on our canvas now before we start adding details. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to creating some tree. So I am using my beloved fan brush and picking up sap green to create this beautiful tree. It is just so easy to do so many difficult things with a fan brush. It's just beyond words. Now I'm using permanent green to create a little bit of foliage in our foreground. I will add details later, but for now I'm just using permanent green and sap green. And now I'm gonna go in and add a little bit of highlights with cadmium yellow. Again, I'm gonna go in with sap green just to give a different color to the tree. And now I'm gonna add these trees that are far away in our background. I'm just adding permanent green and then follow it up with cadmium yellow, and then perhaps add a little bit of sap green. Right, now we get on to the details. So I'm going to start with my favorite part, which is snow. I'm using titanium white to add the snow, and on the one side of the mountain, and on the other side I am going to mix in tiny bit of ultramarine blue to create our shadow. And this is what is going to make your mountains 3D and really get them to pop out. Right, now let's add a little bit more detail to the mountains in the foreground. I'm going in with different shades of green, a little bit of cadmium yellow, and I will also go in with a yellow ochre at the very end. So here you see me adding a little bit more detail to our lovely mountain in the foreground, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. So just using a mix of colors. There is really no right or wrong over here. You just go with what feels good to you and what seems nice. So over here I have mixed in tiny bit of titanium white with burnt umber, and I am just creating this line that shows us where the land meets water. And I'm also going to add the same texture to my mountains to just give that stony effect to our mountain. Right, I'm using in burnt umber by itself to just add a little bit more shading to these, but already I really like how these mountains have turned out. Now I'm going into my leaves and just using cadmium yellow to add some highlights and make my leaves really pop out. It's your choice how you want or which color you want, but I just chose yellow because I thought it would make the leaves really stand out. Now I've picked up a little bit of permanent green and a little bit of Mars black, and I'm just like creating the stems, and I'm also gonna use the same colors to create the branches for the trees. And after that we're gonna be almost done, just adding a little bit more detail, bringing these trees to life. And here you will see me adding branches to just make this a little bit more realistic. I will go in and plant some flowers. It's really your choice. You can stop right now if you like to, but I just thought adding a little bit of pink is gonna give this painting a little bit more edge. So that is the final bit that's left for this painting, is to just add my pink flowers with a little bit of highlights, and we're gonna be done. So this was one of really easy paintings to create, but a real fun one. I really hope you have been painting along with me, and I'm looking forward to seeing your results. Well, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and until next time, please keep smiling.